today's task. In addition to many other tasks, I am going to be tired. So, this area here is where this is where I planted my peppers last year. So it has fabric down and like a bunch of little holes, and I'm kind of contemplating putting my tomatoes there. Since why not? The tomatoes are already really big and they need to go in the ground. And I don't know, I don't think it's a bad place for them. I don't know. Undecided. I think I'm going to do the cucumbers perhaps up front, because those will be popular in our house. I feel like if I get this to a certain level of, cut down, I could probably mow it. And then it would be better. But honestly, I could, theoretically, finish all of this weeding in one evening. Yes, just for you. Hi, Grow. We're pulling weeds. It's so much fun. We've done quite a bit already. We have quite a bit more, but I'm honestly exhausted. However, I do think I could get actually all of it done. If I spent another hour out here, I could get at least a shitload. I tell you what, I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. These weeds are enormous. Still weeding. Wait. Are you seriously? That's hilarious. That's really funny. Well, did you get it done? Well, it's gonna fall down if I keep touching it again. Oh no. That's the wrong direction. The gimbal's having issues. There we are. Okay. Woohoo. I've cut down so much of this, honestly. It's pretty much cleared from that area. So that's about 10 feet. 20 feet wide. That looks really thick, but it's thinner down there. Making sweet progress, although honestly I think I would rather sit in a chair and make my Sims garden, but I need to push through the tiredness. Just get it done, because it'll be such a relief, I hate that feeling of weeds that are out of control. I'm excited for our D&D game. This is the best gardening tool ever. It is so awesome. You can really get into the roots a lot. Because I don't really need this hat anymore. You just saw your way through. That's what I'm doing to the weeds. Hey guys. Yeah, I'm excited for all of that. Assassin's Creed weeds. Exactly. This is like, it actually kind of does look, I'm such a dork. You know what I was going to say though. Yeah, there's my kitty. Weed time. Dude, I have murdered these weeds. Like, honestly, like it's like a castle and a castle, like, that's, whatever, on alert, wanted. Like, you don't even know. The spiky ones are like the big bastards with clubs. They get me. Okay, get back to me. Weed. So much to do. Look, it's so much better. You know, like in the height of summer, it's gonna sound ridiculous. I don't know if it'll happen this year because I'm not quite as obsessed as I was last year. But I was like daydreaming about pulling weeds. Not like, you know, in an on purpose way, but like something about the feeling of just yanking it out by the roots was soothing. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah. Or I was having like actual dreams. It was bizarre. But hey. Alright. We have a particularly large root here, and I don't know if this knife can handle it. Isn't it satisfying? Totally. Yes. This is a workout. Look, so look at, I'm gonna show you this big boss weed right now. If I can manage to point the camera in the right direction. Okay, well, look, this is the boss weed that I'm trying to get up. Look at that. It's like, am I gonna break my knife? Do I stab it? I feel like if I try to pry it out, I'm gonna snap. I don't know. I must attack him from all angles, weaken him to his core. Good God, this might require a shovel, which is actually just right over there. I'm not sure how long it's been there for. Yeah, that's a shovel weed. Alright, sorry knife, you've been a good knife, but time for backup. La 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 la. Okay, hello. And I go further down. Oh God. Alright. I'm getting a shovel. Need a shovel. Yeah. I know. Look. It's shoveled. I found this shovel here. God knows how long it's been here for. But yay! One. Uh-oh. There are random bits of like cement in this garden, and there's one particularly, I've gotten a lot out, including the one that the phone is currently resting on, which is pretty large. But there's one in here that's like attached to a bit of rebar. It's actually right there, and I cannot yank it out. I'd have to do a lot more digging to get that bad boy. I attempted to plant potatoes here, but then I sort of let the weeds take over and kind of forgot about them, so maybe there are potatoes underneath, maybe not. I don't know. Yes, I will give you half of the concrete blocks and rebar that I find. No problem. Alright, time to put the other glove on. Honestly, the gloves are only for those dastardly thistles. Jeez. Suck. So much. Alright. I think we're just going to clear all the way up to the back. Once again, I think my style of... See, these ones are actually really easy to pull out. Love it. Anyways, is anybody going to play some video games tonight? I might. I might not. I might be too worn out from actual fun and games. No, this is not fun games. It's very satisfying though, I tell you that much. Concrete loot. Yeah, the gloves really help. I have thicker gloves that are all leathery, and I had those ones on earlier, but when Ophelia wanted to go in earlier, I took one of them off, so I only know where one of them is. But these are sufficient, I am finding. And that's all that they need to be. There's a lot of dandelion salad in this. Every time I pull these ones with like little balls on them off, I'm like groaning inside because I feel that they're just dropping millions and millions and millions of seeds everywhere. Alright, look at this bad boy. If only this were like a broccoli plant that I grew to be this huge. It's pretty impressive. These guys always come back in this part of the garden in like full swing every year. We have these huge roots. It's impossible to yank this thing out without help. Even if it's rained for like 20 days straight. You can't do it. So much stuff. Okay. Surprised that I'm not really getting bit by bugs. I mean, normally I'd be eaten alive by this time, but like, ugh. Well, yeah, Pete, you got it. Especially when the weeds are like almost taller than I am, which to be honest doesn't take much, but still. I'm going to try to get that mic working again. I don't know what happened, but I did hear the audio. It was ridiculously, you couldn't understand anything. So honestly, I should have turned it off sooner, but when I tested it with like other apps, it seemed to work perfectly. So I'm going to investigate that, so that we can have higher quality farm streaming. Apparently Lil earlier, she came to the barn with me and she took herself all the way back by herself. What a little adventurous little thing. Look at this! I basically cleared all the way to this corner. Massive weeds. There's a lot of mint that grows in this garden. Anybody else doing some gardening this year? with like, yeah, mint for tea making. Exactly. Mr. PlayStation? Yeah. Thanks. I can only see like 2 parts of the chat, which kind of sucks about this format. Maybe I can change that too. I don't know. Okay. So Darren, Norma, let me get all the way to the corner. Man. I'm gonna be exhausted, I think. Like, it's honestly a really good workout. It also feels really good to just totally destroy something. Very therapeutic. However, I do wish this garden were a little bit smaller. I guess I could just like maintain half of it. What's up, Lil? Hi. Hi, sweetheart. She's come for a visit. I'm not sure she can figure out how to get in here on her own. She's here. She's fine. Yeah. Nope. Okay. Hi, Lil. I think I have to go rescue the dog. We got another really satisfying root ball. Yes. I want to flatten this part. I dug a big trench because that's how I thought you were supposed to plant potatoes. But, well, I ignored potatoes. If there were any. Alright, Lil, you need help? Okay, sweetheart. Okay. Lil, here. I have to go get the doggy. Come on. Oh, you want to go over? Come on, popcorn. Over the fence. Alright. Lil has arrived on the scene. Her sister Pip is probably snoozing. Pip is much more of a couch potato. Every single time you get up, like, or move around, Lil will follow me. Like, I go to bed, I get up to pour water in the bathroom. Lil gets down. I get up to, like, grab something across the room. Lil jumps down. But she always has to be picked back up. So, for my sake, we need some, like, dog stairs. She's here. Thank you, Crow, for the compliment on the sunnies in my hat. Yeah. You guys are sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep like a champ tonight. I got new glasses today. The ones that are on my face right now. I tried to make this like a record-setting glasses choosing session. So I was like, 5 minutes max. Versus like other times when it's taken me at least a half an hour to decide on which frames I want to commit myself to for the next however long until I break them. So Okay. Wheels! She's helping. Hi, girlfriend. You gotta stop taking yourself home by yourself. She thinks she's like, you know, barn manager now, and she can just go wherever she wants. Oh man, that was a good one. Apparently, she knows the way home from the barn. It's kind of reminding me of that movie that Ophelia didn't like the other day. This is so satisfying, though. Gotta say. It's just the feeling of progress and destruction. There's a good deep one. And the knife tool makes it more fun. Jeez, this one might call for a shovel. Holy moly. There we are. I win against the weed. This is looking a lot better. I've done more than half of it. So I feel very accomplished. What? Oh, the movie that Ophelia didn't like the other day was that dog one on Netflix that's like about the doggy that needs to go home, so she goes on a big adventure after getting herself lost. We watched about half of it, but she was scared and sad of seeing the dogs in the pound. So, poor girl. Ugh. Well, are you still here? She may have just pieced out. Nice. Yeah, what you doing? She just made her way through the door. She says, screw this, lady. Nothing here for me to eat. Okay. Well, that is progress, if I dare say so. I feel so much better about sitting on my butt playing video games when I have weeded the garden. If I know there's a garden of weeds looming out there. Okay. This might be another shovel one, guys. It's pretty gnarly. Oh. Maybe not. Few weeds can triumph against the hurry curry. I forget what it's called now. I get brownie points? What do I get brownie points? Yeah, that movie, I forget what it's called though. I mean, it's like number 2 on Netflix, I think, right now. I'll remember. I'll find it and I'll let you guys know for sure. Okay. I think I'm almost ready to call it on farm chores for the night. It's exhausting, man. But there are these 2 big weeds over here that I just can't resist. There is plenty of light left for weed pulling, you know. I feel so triumphant. Alright. Look at that. Heck yes. So easy. These ones are very rewarding because a single plant takes care of such a huge amount of space. They may need a shovel though. Okay. And we're just going to go all the way over across the back. And then call it. It's not really the season for geese. Do you hear that? Dang, brah. I get to go to the doctor tomorrow for my knee. Hopefully it's not a tragedy. But I don't know, I think I may have re-screwed something in there. Look at that. This is magnificent, honestly. I have to show you the work. It's truly spectacular. Look at this. See that? Look. It was all like that. Well, even more so dense. It was like the middle of that part up there. But I even cleared a lot in the front. So, let's see. This is a good exercise for my gimbal operation skills. Ta-da! Clearly I need wrong direction. Exercise. Alright, see? So we have actually just that little median of weeds to bother with, but it pretty much looks like grass. And then that is fabric covered, so stuff just grew on top, but it's easy to pull away. And this is pretty mostly taken out. And that one, the strip down the center, is covered in fabric. So I have this part here, which shouldn't be too bad. I think those kind pull out by the roots really easily if it has just rained. So perhaps, to avoid brand new weeds from going in their place, I will leave those there, wait for it to rain, and yank them out right before I'm ready to plant something. I think that's the best. Thank you for the positivity and appreciation about my weed and grow. Always a sweetie. And about the knee appointment. Yeah, so it is at 1:45, I believe. Yes. Eastern Standard Time. Yes. Okay. I'm going to find all sorts of stuff in here, like a shovel. It's amazing. Alright. I'm going to attempt to make some sort of trellising system with those PVCs. More of those white dandelions Ophelia wanted me to eat. Delicious. I think I'm done. Look at that. Wow. It is definitely doable in a day. Okay, I'm done talking about weeds. Yeah, I did injure it. I left my hat. Like 3 years ago, I think, I fractured my tibial plateau, which is like the top of your tibia, the flat part. And then I completely tore the ACL and partially tore the meniscus. And then I also tore the meniscus on the other side. But I got that repaired. However, I think my aggressive tendencies in sport have potentially re-injured something in there because it hurts a lot all the time. So there. We'll see. I'm not sure what I would do if you said, yes, you re-mangled it. Because I don't really think I want to be off my feet for that long. But at least I'll know. Thank you, Ryan. Oh, boy. Did I leave anything out? Per usual. Miss Lils. I'm gonna... What oil this here. I'm going to oil Ophelia's bridle and stuff. Lils, don't jump in there. She jumps out when she's supposed to stay in when she's supposed to stay out. Because she's a naughty terrier. Okay. We have a cleaning supply. No. No. Negative. Do not jump into the car. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay. Camera work. There. Oh, boy. Whoops. Wrong direction. Why is this so slow to respond to my commands? Ah. Hopefully I didn't take the part. Yeah. So I need to oil this stuff right here. This is another farm task because it is dry. And dry leather is dead leather. Like it breaks, basically. And sometimes when leather breaks, people break. If you catch my drift. So, in the spirit of that, not wanting that to happen, we're going to oil this stuff. And we're going to go inside. I do like oiling leather. It's, oh, you tear your meniscus, grow? Jeez. That sucks. So you know what it's like. It's not fun. Definitely not. I'm glad how did your repair go? Was the recovery long? The recovery was frustratingly long for me. Actually, where'd it go? Well, there. Alright. Your sister and your cousin? So you guys have ACL issues running the family, I guess. So this is one of my favorite leather cleaning products. It's called Leather New. Mostly soap, but it conditions some too. This is Trigger's Bridle. It's basically something I found in my storage bin that had been there for a very long time, so it was kind of dry and it needs some attention. TLC. Oh man, yeah, I can't. That must have been extra tough. Jeez. How long did it take for you to heal from that? That sounds really rough, bro. Oof. Does it belong to a previous owner? What, the leather goods? No. It belongs to me. It always belonged to me, but I had it from like another horse many years ago. So. Oh wait. Oh, you mean does the ACL belong to a previous owner? Is that what you're talking about? Because the answer is yes. Cadaver parts. Those are good because with the cadaver parts, I suppose you don't have to have a second incision. Dead people in my legs. Okay. I might stream later some games. We'll see how dead I am. But I will probably, after I finish with this, I'll go in and help facilitate bedtime affairs for Miss Ophelia. Pretty well. Big dog soldier. This is this Trigger's bit. It's copper. It's called a D-ring with copper roll. the rollers typically are put on horses that like play with a bit, or you want to play with a bit more. But they also just can be just there. Gosh, it's really getting dark. Alright, well, I'm almost done. And hope you guys have a good night. If I don't see you later. Yeah, girl. It takes a long time. Honestly, it took a lot. I'm sure, I mean, I know you have extra difficulties, I'm sure. But even for me, it took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Like, especially just to feel solid on it. Like, yeah, it'll heal in the first year, but it takes 2 years for you to feel like you can really, like it's almost the same as it was before, basically. Ah, we have a new Clips leaderboard. Pete Sven is, I don't know why I said Swan, is the new Clipper. Top Clipper. Ryan, you've got competition, bro. Oh boy. Alright. We are almost done here. We have this last bit of hardware, which is called a yoke. And a yoke is basically just something to hold on to for her. It's also known as a neck strap. But you can also teach horses to stop on the yoke, which means instead of pressure on their mouth, which is, with the bit attached to the reins, that your hands are holding, you could pull on the yoke and they would feel pressure like basically at the base of their neck, just above their chest, and slow down that way. And when you can teach them how to slow down that way, eventually, like that's the step before people teaching horses how to be ridden bridleless, which is where the horse has nothing on their face whatsoever. And it's pretty dope, not gonna lie. But anyways, that's enough farm talk for now. I'm gonna go say goodnight to my little schnookums. And, God. And, might see you guys later. Probably. I don't know. Anyways, good night. You're awesome. Have a wonderful evening and yummy dinner.